Good morning, everybody. It is February 28th, and here's the plan of attack for today. And if you're unaware, it is my plan and how I look to trade 0 days expiration on SPX and ES futures for today. Not just a day trade. Kind of like my go-to thing is scalping futures, not scalping futures. Well, I do enjoy doing that, but I mean like scalping credit spreads. But first things first was acknowledge the economic calendar. Let's go ahead and look at, so 30 minutes after the open, there is um, consumer confidence coming out and another FOMC member speaking. And we'll see how that shakes up everything as it tends to, usually. All right, but yeah, so I think for me, anyways, for placing a day trade, I am not going to place it until after this news comes out, so 30 minutes after the open. So there is a 30-minute wait time before initiating a trade in terms of 0DT for me. All right, so let's look at the market. So the market's still in this little tricky spot. So prices come down to the 200-day SMA. Here is my, I'll change the color there, white. This is my bear market point of control. Basically, the most transactions that have occurred since the bear market occurred, and we're sitting right on top of it. So basically, in a nutshell, if we're on this side, the buyers are in control. If we go below it, the sellers are in control. That's basically what all that means. But we're also sandwiched between this 3-month point of control, this HVA level right here, which is this red line, and sandwiched between this point of control and the 50-day SMA. So in a nutshell, it's a big sandwich. So like I said, here is my bear market POC right here, the 50-day SMA, which is right above it, and then the 3-month point of control right above it as well, which lines up pretty close to the 50. So you can see how it's sandwiched pretty tight. So all that, what does all this mean? Basically, you're going to have to be patient. That's what it means. You already have to know your entries and know where you're getting in and know where you're getting out until this consolidation phase either consolidates like this and we break down, or we consolidate and go up. So like I'll pull up my other chart, and you can see we are dancing right on top of a trend line if you haven't noticed it before. So here is this trend line right here that we've tapped here, now we're tapped it here, and now here we are tapping on top of it again. We're right at the weekly point of control for the week, but we're only 2 days in. But I think some consolidation here, if we're going to go up, looks good. But if we break down, then all this is like one big bear flag, right? And then if we get a breakdown like that, well, down we go. But that doesn't mean it has to happen. You get the story could change, and then it could also still just bounce up and we'll come back up. But that's if we break down. That's the bear flag scenario. But all this being said, we're on support. A bunch of pushing and pulling going on. Now, how do I look to day trade it? How am I looking at this? Okay, so like I said, we got to wait for 30 minutes to pass. So 30 minutes to pass. All right, here is a Voodoo Skyline right at basically we'll call it 39. Actually, here I'll just get the exact price. Basically 39.98. Here is where I have my bear market point of control. The 50-day SMA is noted right there, and then right at 40.25 is kind of the level where I am going to want to look to lock up profits if I play it to the upside. And you can see I have it marked right here on this chart. So here's my plan for today. It's going to be tight. You're going to be strict, and I think you're going to have to actively manage today. So this is my bullish scenario. I want price to push up through the 50, probably hit the 5. Daily 5 EMA, that's what this line is. That's what it is right here. If it hits it, and then I want these moving averages to come up closer, and then we pull back to either the daily 50 or I'll do even the hourly 50 EMA, get buy signals, and then I'll take it back up. That's my bullish scenario. But what if that doesn't play out? Say the market doesn't like whatever the consumer confidence that comes out, things like that. Say the market doesn't like that. Okay, so we'll say, just to say it starts where it's currently at. Price is right here. Price dips below the 30-minute 21 EMA and VWAP. And then at that moment, like I said, 30-minute 21 EMA and VWAP will be right here. And then I want my price to come up, test it, give me my sell signals, and then I'll take it down into just the point of control. Once I get to this level, I'm locking it up. Now, if I want to play the bullish scenario and price goes up here to 40.25, that's where I'm going to lock up my bullish play. That's basically the sandbox I'm stuck in for right now until we get a move out of it, and then maybe tomorrow we'll have clearer signals. But that's kind of how I'm looking at it today. It's tricky spot, but for a day trade, that's kind of what we're given. But I hope that makes sense. I hope this helps you some. But if this doesn't make sense and the price action doesn't make sense to you, you don't have to place a trade today. Nothing's wrong with sitting on the sidelines until it makes more sense to you. Have a good day, everybody, and keep an eye out for a recap if I do end up doing it. And if not, see you again tomorrow. Take care.